ladies and gentlemen, my name is Robert Mitchell, and I've got a fantastic topic for you today. I'm going to talk about team building or teamwork, and I want to start at the top. I want to start with leaders. And I think it's John Maxwell that says, everything rises and falls with leadership. I believe that's true. I think I'll say it like this, a little differently. An organization's problems starts with the leadership. I know that sounds negative. Let me say it again. An organization's problems, or the team's problems, or your business, whatever team you have, whatever organization you have, whatever thing that we are thinking of, this entity that we are thinking of that requires more than one person to be involved, the problems start at the top, and guess what? The solutions start at the top. Now, that doesn't mean that an organization might not have problems and at the same time have a bad leader. That sounded muddy. An organization can have problems and a fantastic leader. It means that the leadership is going to fix the problems. So there are going to be problems. There's going to be difficulties. There's going to be setbacks. And if we have a great leader, then the leader is going to be the start to fixing those setbacks, those problems. The same thing could be said if things are going to go well, it's going to be because of leadership. So if things are going great, then we can look to the leadership to see that they can keep it going great. Are you with me so far? I hope so. So let me preface a few what I call truths. Some pillar of faiths or some pillar of truths that I think need to be highly considered when developing a team. The first truth is you need a team to be successful. You need a team to be successful. So if you're a leader and you feel like it's lonely at the top, chances are you're doing something wrong. We're not supposed to be the Lone Ranger. We're not supposed to be an island. We're not supposed to be all by our lonesome, so to speak. I know businesses that consider themselves a one-man show or a one-woman show, a one-person show. I have a friend of mine. He restores cabinets. He's the Lone Ranger. He's the only one in his company. Now think about this. If I'm correct in saying you need a team to be successful, what about him, you might ask? I'm glad you asked that. He does have a team. He just may not know it. His customers are on his team. His vendors are on his team. His family members are on his team. And his referral partners are on his team. And if he doesn't have referral partners, he needs them to be successful. So I'd like to tell you about an organization that I'm involved in called BNI, Business Network International. And I'll use this organization from time to time as an illustration on how to create great teamwork and to create great leadership. You can insert your organization anytime I'm talking about teamwork or organization. Maybe it's your church. Maybe it's your business. Maybe you're a high school football coach. Maybe you're a coach of a volunteer team. Maybe you, like me, have coached your 5th grade kids and your 6th grade kids and your 7th grade and then your grandkids. See, so I have coached many teams, not professionally, as a volunteer. You might be involved in the Red Cross. You might be involved in a volunteer group. Everything's the same to me in my mind. Whether you're a volunteer or being paid, these truths that I'm going to talk about today are going to be applicable with any organization, you see. And so if you're a one-man show like my friend Jim is, and you don't think you have a team, I want you to rethink that. So an organization I'm involved with is BNI, Business Network International. There's 8,000 chapters worldwide in 66 countries. The basis for the organization is for business owners to meet together and give referrals to their customers and contacts. In other words, I learn to trust you and your business, and then when my customers need something, I am able to refer them to you because I know and trust you. Can you see that? So that is a referral organization. If you're a one-man show business, I would encourage you to join BNI, because then you would have a whole team of experts that would help you with your business. You would have a CPA. Well, let me use my company for an example. We have a company called Quick Dry Restoration and Remodeling, and Quick is spelled K-W-I-K. Quick Dry Systems is our website, quickdrysystems.com. Quick Dry Restoration and Remodeling is our business. And we help people, God forbid they have a water problem or a fire problem in their home or business. We go in and we restore that which was lost. We dry the building, or we get it smoke-free. We restore the building, and then we have what I call a whole team of experts. And we bring in this whole team of experts to take care of our customers. We have flooring companies, we have painters, we have drywallers, we have electricians, plumbers, heat and air guys, roofers. We have everything that you can imagine in construction, and we've been doing this for 20 years in the Springfield, Missouri area. So we have a whole team of experts, and I believe if you're going to be successful, you have to have a team. And if you're the leader of a team already, I'm really speaking to you today. And if you're not a leader and you're on a team, I'm speaking to you because I think you're going to be a leader, because nobody would listen to this podcast unless they wanted to be a leader or they were a leader. And so if you're not a leader of a team, I think you can insert your role of whatever you're doing. Whether you're a house husband or a housewife, or whether you work in retail, or whether you're working the cash register, or whether you're a plumber, anything and everything, you have a role. And in that role, you have a whole team. And if you learn teamwork concepts, you're going to benefit not only yourself, you're going to benefit your team. And I believe when you put your team first, that you're going to be promoted. You're going to be elevated. When you help your organization, when you help your company, when you help your church, when you help your team, your volunteer organization, the company you work for, the company that you own, when you put the team first and the team members first, you're going to be successful. You're going to be successful, and your team is going to be successful. So truth number one, you need a team to be successful. Let me say this: your organization grows when your businesses grow in the organization. So your pastors, your church will grow when the individual businesses grow in the church. Or could I say it like this: the income of the individual business, the income of the members grow. So I'm very income oriented. So the organization's going to grow when the businesses grow. Let me say it like this: BNI is an organization. We have chapters. The chapters have 20 to 50 members in them. When the organization, BNI, is going to grow when the individual businesses grow in the chapter. Can you see that? Do you see what I'm trying to say here? The organization is going to grow when the businesses grow. And I said that to say this: The businesses are going to grow when the members grow. So I have a chapter in B&I. My chapter cannot grow until the businesses that are represented in the chapter grow. The businesses in the chapter can't grow until the owner of the business grows. A pastor might say this, Lord, grow my church. And the Lord will whisper and say, no, grow your people. And then the pastor might say, Lord, grow my people. And then the Lord would whisper and say, no, grow yourself. So what I want to say is that my business will grow to the extent that I grow. I first came into that verbiage, that concept, about 5 years ago as of today. So about 2014, I went to a training class called BOLD. And BOLD stands for Business Objective, a Life by Design, comma, not default. Okay, BOLD is a tremendous training organization that Keller Williams Real Estate puts on for its realtors. But it's more than just for realtors because the training is 90% mindset. And there's a wonderful lady named Diana Kokoska with Keller Williams that started this fantastic training program. I've taken it 6 times so far. It's a 7-day training, 1 day a week for 7 days, 8 hours, 7 Mondays in a row or 7 Tuesdays in a row. It's a fantastic training. I would recommend anybody taking it, whether you're in business or not, because it's going to help your mindset. And one of the things we do in BOLD is we have what's called BOLD laws. And one of my favorite is what I just said. Your business grows to the extent that you grow. We must grow first, then our business grows. We must grow first, then our promotions at work come. We must grow first, then our organization grows. So we grow first. Jim Rohn said it like this: work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Work harder on yourself than you do your job. So the organization grows when the people in the organization grow, and the businesses that are represented in the organization grow when the business owner grows. If you're a business owner and you want your team members, your employees to grow, you grow first. You grow, your members grow, your organization grow, and it's in that order. You grow, your members grow, your team members grow, and then your organization or team will grow. John Maxwell said it like this: your team's effectiveness will only rise as high as your leadership. So the leadership could be one person or it could be a whole team of leaders. So if you have a whole team of leaders, your effectiveness for your business or your organization cannot grow higher than the leadership. The leadership could represent one person, it could represent a team of leaders. At some point, the effectiveness of your business organization cannot grow higher than your leadership. If on a scale of 1 to 10, your leadership is a 2, well then your effectiveness, your success will only be a 2. So if you want to grow your effectiveness, if you want to grow your success, you've got to grow your leadership. Your leadership will grow when the leaders grow. So it starts at the top. If it's a pyramid, it starts at the top. If you want your leadership team to grow, you grow first. If you want your leadership to grow, the individuals must grow. and then they will grow, their leadership will grow, they will grow, and that'll give room for the team and the organization to grow. The team cannot grow if the leader doesn't grow. If you have one leader that's a 6 and they're under a leader that's a 2, one of 3 things is going to happen. One, the 6 will help the 2 grow, even though the 2 is technically the boss. You see that? So one of the greatest thing that could happen here is that the 2 can help influence the leader of that 2 or of that 6. So if we have a leader that's a 6 and he's working underneath, she's working underneath a 2, the greatest thing that could happen is that the 6 can influence the 2 to grow to a 6 and maybe even push the new 6 to an 8. And then the leader would be an 8 and you might still be a 6. That would be tremendous. And then you could grow to an 8 as well. So we must say this. The second thing that could happen is that the 6 could get disappointed in the 2, and then the 6 leaves the organization. And what a shame. That happens all the time. When the 6 is under a 2, the 6 is going to be disappointed, the 6 is going to be frustrated, and then the 6 is going to leave the organization and you're left with a 2. Or the 2 is going to fire the 6. That's what's going to happen. The 2 is going to fire the 6 because the 2 is going to be frustrated that the 6 has a lot of great ideas, and the 2, the reason they're a 2 is they're threatened by those great ideas. And they're going to sabotage the team for their personal sake, you see. And that's why we need to put the team first. Let's put the team first and allow the 6s to flourish and allow those 6s to bring everybody else. Because remember, John Maxwell says that leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less, always has been and always will be. So can the 6 influence the 2 to grow? I don't know. I will say this, it's up to the 2. Now, I have something in my mind. I have a scale of 1 to 10, and it's just in my mind. It's not really scientific. And I say that most people that get promoted in leadership, they get some sort of title, and we've all heard that the title doesn't make you a leader. And so they have a title, and I think it's because they have 1 or 2 skill sets. They're good at sales, they're good at the system, they're good at accounting, they're good at the company's politics or the policies, you see, and they get promoted. Doesn't make them a leader. It might make them a manager. A manager's not necessarily a leader. I don't even want to be a manager. A manager measures growth. A leader inspires growth. I want to be a leader. I want to inspire growth. So if I'm a 6 under a 2, and I've been there many times, I want to inspire the 2 to grow to be a 6 and even higher for the team's sake. I'm a team player, you see. And so so in my scaling, you can't be a 3 if you don't like people. If you don't like people and you don't care for people, then I believe you can never be above a 3 in leadership in this so-called Robert Mitchell scale of 1 to 10. And we know what that means. 10 is fantastic. 10 is up here. I've known some great 10s. The owner of BNI, in my mind, is a 10. Fantastic guy. Ivan Misner, Dr. Ivan Misner, started BNI 35 years ago, 1985. Fantastic. He's a leader. Matter of fact, he earned John Maxwell's most influential leader in 2016. That's a high honor. He's a 10. John Maxwell's a 10. You see, I worked with the owners of our BNI franchise. They recently sold. I worked with them. They were a 10. They had fantastic leadership skills, you see. And so on a scale of 1 to 10, if you have one or two skills and you get promoted to a leadership position, doesn't make you a leader. Thank you, I've got a promotion, just doesn't make you a leader. The first thing we need to do to become a leader is care about people, like people, want to help people grow, want to help people succeed, want to help the organization succeed, want to help the team succeed. And then when we have that spirit and we have a spirit to learn and grow, then we're going to be a 3, and pretty soon we can be a 4, and pretty soon we can be a 5. Now, John Maxwell says, you won't be a great leader in one day, but one day you can be a great leader. So we're going to grow, and then we're going to change. So here's another truth. You can change and not grow. You can actually get worse. You can change for the worst and not grow. You can change and not grow. You can go backwards. You can change and not grow. But you cannot grow if you don't change. So we need to change. We need to change our thinking. We need to change our thought processes. We need to change our environment. We need to change from problems to successes. We need to grow. We need to study. We need to study leadership. And we need to study everything we need to know about the organization so that we can grow. And as we grow, we change. And as we change, we influence others to change. And we have to break out of our comfort zone. When you break out of your comfort zone, you need to stay in your strength zone. Many people break out of their comfort zone and they also leave their strength zone and they're not successful. So break out of your comfort zone and at the same time, stay in your strength zone, stay in your lane, stay in your purpose, stay in your gifts, stay in your calling, stay in the thing that you were created to do. And we'll talk more about that in a minute, but it's like a little chick trying to get out of that egg. See, it's not getting out of the egg that makes her stronger. It's breaking through, kicking her way, mustering her way, putting her beak on there, kicking and scratching and raising her wings and clawing her way through, eating her way through. After she gets through, she's stronger. It wasn't getting through, it was breaking through that made her stronger. It was the effort that she put in. If somebody would have taken a knife and opened it up and made it easier on her, she would still be through, not stronger. It's not winning or losing that makes you stronger. It's the effort that you put into the thing. When you put 100% in there, when you do your best, when you press on, when you push and you push hard. The Apostle Paul said, I have not attained it yet, but I press on towards the mark of the high calling of God. The butterfly, they're not better or stronger when they're out of their cocoon. You could take a knife and get them out of the cocoon. They won't be stronger. You could trap them in the cocoon and they could never get out. They won't be stronger. They're only stronger with the effort that they put to press out, to dig their way out, and to force their way out. So sometimes you can lose and you will know you're a winner. John Wooden, the great basketball coach, he said that he won 10 out of 12 college championship basketball, and nobody had ever won 3. He won 7 in a row. He won 10 out of 12 years. Fantastic coach. And he said one time when he was in high school that it was a tough team for the championship, and they were going back and forth, and it was tied. And the other team had a kid that threw a lucky shot halfway across the court, and it sunk in the basket, and that team won. He said, everybody on my team cried but me, because he said, I knew I gave it my best. And he says, only you will know if you give it your best. I think he's wrong. I think you will know, and I think God will know. God wants you to give it your best, whether you win or lose. He wants you to be in your strength zone. He wants you to break out of your comfort zone. He wants you to be your very best and put your very best forward and do it enthusiastically and do it with pressure and do it with love and do it with life and put your whole heart into your job, put your whole heart into your team, put your whole heart into the organization that you're with. I'll say it like this: if you can't put your whole heart into the organization that you're with, you should leave the organization. I will never draw a paycheck from somebody that I am not 100% in. I will never badmouth my employer. I will do my very best to make them rich. And if I can't do that for some sort of ethical reasons, I'm out. I've got to get out and get another job. Let me tell you what I think enthusiasm means. I think enthusiasm is like the bumblebee. The bumblebee comes up to the nectar, comes up to the flower, and it drinks all the nectar it possibly wants. What does it do first? It goes into that flower, and it has all these little pollen on its wings and fuzzy parts, and as it gets in there, it pollinates the pistils. The pistils are pollinated, fertilized, they go to the ground, and they make flowers for next year. I think that life is like that we have two spiritual laws. One is ask, and it shall be given to you. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened. That's one. We'll narrow it down to this: ask, seek, knock, and you shall have. That's one. The second spiritual law is give, and it shall be given back to you. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Shall men and women give unto your bosom. For whatever you give, you shall receive. I heard a bold coach, Rob Daniels, say that if you ask before you give, you're really taking. So I want you to go into your team, and I want you to give. I want you to give a hand before, I want you to give your heart, as John Maxwell says, give your heart, take care of the person's heart before you ask for their hand. Give them something, help them, help your teammates, help your team members, help your employees, help your organization, help your employer. Give to them, give them 100% of your effort. And then I believe you can ask whatever you will, and it shall be given to you. Zig Ziglar said it better than anybody. He said it better than anybody. You can have anything you want in life if you simply help enough other people get what they want in life. I think that is a true statement. Matter of fact, since we were using BNI, I was using BNI as an illustration. BNI's philosophy is giver's gain. And giver's gain means, because we're a referral organization, that we want to learn to trust all of our teams of experts so that we trust them. We know they're going to do a great job. We know that they're experts in their field. We know that they're passionate about what they do. We know that they're the best at what they do. We know that they're excited about what they do. We know that they have integrity and honesty. And then when we meet a loved one, when we meet a family member, when we have a friend, or we have a customer, or we have a contact that needs their services, we refer to that contact that team of experts. Matter of fact, referral means someone, that's me, that introduces someone, that's my customer or my contact or my family member, to an expert in their field, and that's my referral partner. That's why I said if you're a one person team, then you need a whole team of experts to work with you that you can trust to take care of your customers' needs in a way that you can't do it except through a power of referral. Don't ever say, I don't do windows. Say, I don't do windows. and I know who does, and have a great window cleaner as a team of experts. All right, let's shift gears a little bit. I want to read you a statement that I think could be a catalyst or an anchor in leadership. And the statement sounds like this: you will achieve your desired results when you recognize and reward your team members with the role that suits their strengths. You do this by building a rapport with them. You can take that to the bank. That was written by Robert Mitchell, yours truly. I call this the R's of leadership, and I just wish that Robert was included in that R of leaderships, and maybe it will be one of these days. So let me read it again and I'll break it down. You will achieve your desired results. Results is the key word. When you recognize and reward your team members, I'm speaking to leaders here. When you recognize and reward your team members with a role that suits and enhances their strengths. And you do this by building a rapport with them. Robert, how do I know their strengths? Build a rapport with your team members. Robert, how do I know what their role should be? Build a rapport with your team members. Matter of fact, I have a nice little prop here that I like to use. If you want to grow exponentially, see that little 3? I love the word exponentially because it's better than math. It's better than adding, I mean. 3 plus 3 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 to the power of 3 is 27. When you build a team, you're going to grow exponentially. When everybody is on your team is in their strength zone, your team is going to be more efficient, and you're going to be 25 times more efficient if everybody is in their strength zone and if everybody is putting their team first. You put your team first, you're going to win, and you're going to be able to live your legacy. You're going to not only live your legacy, you're going to be able to pass on your legacy. First, you need to know your legacy, and then you can leave the legacy. Know your legacy, live your legacy, pass on your legacy, like a baton. Hand it off. That's what John Maxwell says. Hand off your legacy. Find somebody that's going to take on your business. Find somebody, something that's going to help pass on your legacy. And then finally, one sad day, leave your legacy when you leave this planet. I want to break this down. I said, you will achieve your desired results. 2 key words. One is desire. I don't like to use the word want. In bold, we say want equals lack. I like to use the word desire. Desire is a Latin word meaning of the Father or of the stars. My favorite passage of scripture says that every good and perfect gift cometh down from the Father of lights. Another favorite scripture of mine is that God will give you the desires of your heart. Another one is, whatsoever things you desire when you pray, believe that you'll receive them and you will have them. How can God be so certain that he will give you the desires of your heart? What if the desires of your heart was evil? How could he say, I'll give you the desires of your heart? He knows this because he put the desires in your heart to begin with. They can't be evil. They can't be evil. See, the word desire is from the Father. So what he does is when you were knitted in your mother's womb, Psalm 139 said he knits you together in your mother's womb. In that womb, He breathed his spirit into your little body, and you became a living spirit. You became created in his image. You were a child of the living God, the creator of all things, the creator of the universe. You had a spark of life in you. You have a spark of divinity in you. You are a child of the Most High. And in that moment of time, he put in you gifts. He put in you strengths. He put in you a calling. He put in you a race to run. He put in you the desires of your heart. And all you have to do is look deep within and find out what those desires are, and then ask him for those things that are on the inside of you to come out on the outside. It's kind of like being an apple seed. You take that apple seed and you hide it in the ground. And every day, invisible things happen to that seed. That seed doesn't become an apple tree in one day, but one day it'll be an apple tree. It won't have apples on it in one day, but one day it will have apples on it. You have the seed of God in you. Les Brown says that you have seeds of greatness in you. They're hidden in your heart. Water them. Trust them. The Apostle Paul said that we plant and we water, but God gives the increase. That's what faith is. Believing that the seed inside you that you cannot yet see, that wonderful truth that's inside you, the joy, the peace, the love, the mercies, the faithfulness, the faith of God is on the inside of you in seed form. Water it with your words, water it with your actions, water it with your attitudes, water it with your positive thinking, and allow that seed to grow and bloom and produce fruits on the outside. You see, fruit grows on branches. Jesus said, I am the vine and you are the branches. Let the life of God that's on the inside of you come out into your branches. And that's your calling, and that's your strength. And you take that to work with you. You take that thing on the inside of you and you take it to work with you. Maybe you're selling coffee. You do it so enthusiastically that people absolutely love you because you're the best coffee person they've ever met. Maybe you're a plumber. Maybe you're a ditch digger. Maybe you're a maintenance person. Maybe you work for a landscaping company. Maybe you work for a construction company. I started one of my great training when I was 25 years old, working at Get and Go stores in Tulsa, Oklahoma on the midnight shift. And I took those great seeds of greatness on the inside of me and I allowed them to prosper and come out. I became the #1 customer service representative in the whole company. They placed me in 9 months or 11 months. They made me a training manager, a training leader of every brand new employee. And they asked me, so whatever's on the inside of you, please share it with our new members, our new employees, so they will take care of our customers the way you take care of them. Fast forward 5 years, I was a training manager, a training coordinator of 100 stores with the company. Now I got promoted to a supervisor and a training coordinator, and I'm opening a brand new store. And one of our great competitors came in. His name is RJ with Quick Trip. And he walked in and I said, hi sir, come in and take a look at our brand new store. He said, you're RJ, my name is Robert Mitchell. And he said, I know who you are. He said, about 5 years ago, when you were the manager of 61st and Memorial in Tulsa, we used to send our new hires in every week. And we said, go do what that guy does to our customers. I was only 25. How did I do it? I had something inside me. I had the same thing that's inside you. I had that enthusiasm in the inside of me. I knew the 2 spiritual laws of give and asking, and I gave 100% to my customers. I gave the smile. I gave the right change. I gave the receipt. I gave them fresh coffee. I used to say it's fresh or free. I would work hard in the store. That's all I'll say about that, because I gave 100%. And then I asked for promotions and I received promotions. So that's desire. you will achieve your desired results. Let's talk about results. If you're going to be a great leader, one of the first things I think you have to know is what is the desired result? What is the end game? If your team was perfect, what would it look like? What would your message be? Obviously, if it was a football team, you want to win the game and you want to win the championship. That's not your whole message. We need to know your strength zones. We need to know if you're a passing team. We need to know if you're a running team. We need to know if you're strong on defense or strong on offense. So on business, I don't want you to say, hey, we want to make a lot of money. That's fine. I don't mind that. I don't want to end with that. There's more to it. Matter of fact, I think goals are important, and I think we need to anchor the goal with a priority. I want to make a lot of money because I want to take care of my family. I desire to make a lot of money because I want to give back to the community. You tell me your goal and then anchor it with a priority. And so what we say is, well, we want to make a lot of money in our business. We want to make a lot of sales in our business. We want to grow our business this high, and then we need more. What's the priority? What's the vision of the company? What's the vision of the organization? At BNI, our vision is to change the way the world does business. How does the world do business? Well, up until about 600 years ago, everybody did business with a handshake and a smile. Everybody did business with somebody they knew and trusted. And then all of a sudden in 1536, we had a great invention called the Gutenberg printing press. And the very thing printed on that thing was the Gutenberg Bible. It was the Latin Bible translated into German because of the great Martin Luther. Not Martin Luther King Jr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s father was inspired by the great Martin Luther and changed his name and his son's name to Martin Luther King Jr. So the great Martin Luther, the original great Martin Luther, was 1536, and he translated the Latin Bible into Germany so the common man could read, the common woman could read the Bible for herself. And his great testimony was that we are justified by faith, not by works. We are justified by faith. And then what was amazing is people started marketing. They started doing brochures, and I can only imagine a young boy came to his father that was a farmer and said, Dad, I've got this brochure of this company that's 500 miles away, and they said it could revolutionize the way we farm. And the dad got mad at the son and said, what's wrong with the way we farm? My dad did it. My grandpa did it. His grandpa did it. What's wrong with the way we farm? And the son, a younger version of his father. The son, the new generation. The son, new thinking. Change your thinking, change your world, change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. He said, maybe we can grow. Maybe we can grow more products by having this invention. After 2 weeks of squabbling, the father says, I'll let you go 500 miles on one condition. And he says, what's that? I go with you. So they packed up their donkeys. They packed up enough food for a couple of months. They took the money necessary to buy that new farm tool, and they went off 500 miles. Why? Because of a piece of literature. For one of the first times in humanity, a person bought something from a total stranger. And then all of a sudden we went into mass production. The great Henry Ford. We went from the agricultural state to an industrial state. I think it was fantastic. People sold their little farms and they moved into town and they started working right side by side on an assembly line with a total stranger. They went into a hotel or an apartment and they lived right next door to a total stranger. When they needed a doctor or a plumber or a carpenter, they had to find a total stranger to help them out. And then we created the greatest thing, one of the greatest things in marketing, the Yellow Pages. And I used to be in the Yellow Pages. When I started my company 20 years ago, that's how I made it. From Yellow Pages, people would call me and I would work with a total stranger because they needed somebody to get something done. And now we have Google. Google's fantastic, you see. At BNI, we want to change that. We want to become Google for our contacts. Hey, Robert, who do you know that needs something? What I'm saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, is that BNI has a vision. BNI has a plan. BNI has a why. We know what our why is. My company's why, QuickDrive, is to help my customers reach their full potential. You see, if they file an insurance claim because they have a water problem or a fire problem, I know what my why is. My why is to help them get everything they deserve from the insurance company and help them receive their full potential. As a coach, I know what my why is. I learned it when I was 24 years old. As a 24-year-old, I asked God, what's my purpose? What's my race? What's my gift? What am I on the planet for? It was over 25 years ago. It's about 30 years ago. It's about 34 years ago. And I sensed inside my heart, the Holy Spirit said, your gift is to help people reach their full potential. That's what I'm doing today with this podcast. I want to help you reach your full potential as a leader. And if you're going to reach your full potential as a leader, I think one of the first things you have to do is define the results that you desire. Define your vision. Why is your company alive? Why is it created? Why is it on the planet? What is the purpose of your organization? What is the purpose of your company? What is its purpose? What is its great why? Read Simon Sinek's book, Start With Your Why. What is your why? That's the same thing as saying, what is your vision statement? And then I like to say is, what is your how? How are you going to do it? What are you going to do? How are you going to do it? And what are you going to do? So I call it my why, my what, and my how, you see. And so now you have to define your mission statement. Your mission statement is what you're going to do, how you're going to do it. Your why is the reason that you exist and that the reason for your company exists or your organization, and the what and how is going to be the mechanism or the strategies to make it done. For instance, let me use BNI again. Our mission at BNI is to increase our members' business through a structured, positive referral marketing program that enables us to build meaningful relationships with like-minded business professionals. You see how that's our what and our how? We're going to give referrals. We're going to meet people. We're going to have a whole team of experts. We're going to grow our business by helping others grow their business. And that's our philosophy, Givers Gain. We're going to grow our business by helping others grow their business, you see. So what is your mission statement? At QuickDrive, our mission statement is, we will restore that which was lost to its original state, even better because it's brand new. So we will take the house, we'll take the business, we'll take the building that was damaged by water, mold, smoke, or fire, and we will take that and we will undo the bad stuff that happened to it, dry it out, get rid of the odor, get rid of the smoke, get rid of the mold, and then we will bring it back to its original state, even better because now it's brand new. See, that's what our passion is. That's what our how is. That is what our what is. That is what we're doing. What is your organization for? What do you do? What services do you provide? We need to know the end results. So if I said, if your business was perfect, what it would look like. Matter of fact, that's a bold law. The purpose of business is to fund the perfect life. So if I'm talking to a business owner and I asked you what your business would look like if it was perfect, I first have to ask, what would your personal life look like if it was perfect? So your business has a why. What is your why? Your business has a mission statement. What is your personal mission statement? You see, if your business, if the end result is supposed to look like this, 20 stores, this much in sales, this much as employees, this as much as in revenue, all these wonderful things that would make it look like if your business was at the max, if it was doing everything it was supposed to do, if the final product was perfect, and this is what your team looked like, this is what your organization looked like, this is what your church looked like, if that's what your final product looks like, and that happens to be, if your life, if your business or organization or ministry was perfect, what would it look like? Well, what would your personal life look like? The purpose of business is to fund the perfect life. If your life was perfect, what would it look like? And then what do we need to do? What action steps do we need to do to make it perfect? How much should you weigh? How much money should you make? How much money should you donate? What's your relationship look like? Are you married? Are you happy? Are you in a relationship? If your life was perfect or fulfilled or satisfied, what would it look like? Same thing with the business. So we want to know what the end result needs to look like. Stephen Covey says, start with the end in mind. What would your business look like if it reached its full potential? And now we need to articulate that. You need to know your vision. You need to know your why. You need to know your mission statement. You need to know your philosophy. You need to know your core values. And then you need to ask yourself, is your culture, the way you do things at work, does it match your core values? You see, culture is what we do. Core values is who we are. So we have this wonderful core value. We have this wonderful seeds of greatness in us. We have this wonderful calling. We have this wonderful, the desires of our heart. We've got all this goodness on the inside of us. We have all this goodness on the inside of our company. We have all this great mission statement, vision statement, core values, philosophies. At BNI, our core values are giver's gain, building long-term meaningful relationships, lifelong learning, positive attitude, traditions and innovation, accountability and recognition. Now think about that. Those are 7 wonderful core values. What's the culture look like at a chapter? Does that culture match the core values? Dr. Ivan Misner, the founder of BNI, says this: the culture eats your strategy for breakfast. You might have a strategy. You might have a system. You might have something that you want to accomplish at your work or in your chapter or your organization or on your team. Let me ask you this. Does your philosophy, what you feel and believe in, your brand, your message, who you say you are, your advertisement, you see, does that match what you do, your performance? That's a good question, isn't it? So, we need to know what the results are that we desire. And then we need to be able to articulate them to the extent that every team member knows the vision, the mission statement, the brand of the organization. Now we need to recognize team members. And when I say recognize, I don't mean just give them a plaque. That's a great recognition. I mean this definition of recognition. Recognize official approval, a certification, accreditation, endorsement, and validation. And what we're saying is that we're calling this person an expert in their field. We're recognizing them as an expert in their field. We are giving them an accreditation. We're giving them a certification. And then we do that publicly to the other team members, and then we reward them with a strength, or reward them with a role that suits their strengths. So I was in an organization, like I said earlier, I'm still in it, BNI, and years ago, we had a leader, he's gone, he was a level 2 leader, Okay, the organization's a 10 and this guy's a 2. So unfortunately, our whole territory was a 2. Now, I happen to be the number 1 guy in a particular thing that we did, which is called, I'll just say, we invite visitors to our chapter. And so in the whole organization, they had 3 top performers. I happened to be number 1. I was brought 3 times more than the second place guy. He brought 2 times more than the third place guy. I brought more visitors than the next 10 people combined. What did I get for it? I got a $2 plaque. That's fantastic. If you want your business to grow, if you want your organization to go, reward the member with the role that suits their strengths. So there's going to be a part 2 to this. And part 2 is going to talk about high-level leaders and low-level leaders. And I want to talk about on part 2 how to become a higher level leader and how to get the results that we want for our team. And it's going to be by giving members a role that suits their strengths. Tim Collins said it's putting the right people on the bus and then putting the right people in the seat. You see, if your team members aren't in the right seat, the right lane, the right strengths, if they're not in the right role, you're not going to be as successful as you can. Because I believe if you are going to achieve your desired results, you're going to have to recognize and reward team members with the role that suits their strengths. And you do this by building a rapport with them. All right, my name is Robert Mitchell. You can order this fantastic I Am a Giant Slayer t-shirt. And what that means is that little monster that was under your bed when you were a kid, when you grew up, got in your head. And it's not the giants out there that threaten your destiny. It's the giant right in here. And you need to slay that giant. At Bold, we call it don't listen to your drunk monkey. Don't listen to negative self-talk. That's one of my first sins of failure. And when you have leadership, you will fail. And you will fail forward. And you're not going to win. And you're not going to get stronger. You're not going to get stronger because you win or lose. You're going to get stronger by trying, by pushing, by effort. So thank you very much. You got me all choked up. Let me know if I can help you. You can email me at robert@robertallenmitchell.com. Thank you and have a very great day.